How's it going, boys? Johnny Superbman here, bringing you another Questions with Superbman. But actually, this time it's just going to be Question with Superbman, alright? I've been seeing plenty of comments from you guys asking me to voice my opinion about the current NHL lockout. And, I was hoping that the lockout wouldn't happen. Day by day, I was hoping I would keep on checking NHL.com, hopefully looking for a headline saying, CBA signed, new deal reached. But, we're how many days past the 15th of September now, the deadline? Still nothing, and players are actually going overseas. Good players, too, like Ovechkin's already gone back to Russia. All right, players are heading back over, so it's looking like it did 7 years ago when the lockout happened in, 04, 05, or I think that's when it was. All right, so, yeah, it looks like we're going to have another year without hockey, and it's, I've had it up to here with these damn lockouts. Now, before I get into this, before I start rambling and raging about this, I just want to state that these are my opinions, all right? Remember, I'm not a member of the NHL. I'm not a member of the NHLPA. I'm sure there's a lot of facts that I don't know about. I'm just going on based on what I've heard from players, what I've heard from analysts, what I've read online, all right? So, again, my opinion, okay? I'm sure there's some facts that I'm leaving out here. But basically, for anyone who doesn't know, the lockout is caused because there has to be a new collective bargaining agreement signed between the NHL and NHLPA. Basically, what this is, they have to decide on how much the players make, all right? There's a lot of other things involved as well, but basically it boils down to how much the players make. Now, 7 years ago when they made the last lockout to happen, what happened was the players ended up taking a pay cut, all right? After the year went by, they came to an agreement, but the players ended up taking a pay cut, all right? Now, here's the problem with this. You have players who are still playing in today's NHL who have already taken a pay cut 7 years ago, and now the NHL wants them to take another pay cut. All right, that's the stand from the NHL. They say that the NHL players, the contracts are going out of control. They're making too much money. There needs to be a pay cut for this. And the NHL is coming. The NHLPA is coming back with saying, "Well, what are you talking about? The league is the healthiest it's ever been. All right, more people are watching the NHL than ever before. You got teams like Nashville and Phoenix actually being competitive." And I agree with this. The NHL is a very healthy league. When's the last time a team won the Stanley Cup? Back-to-back years. It's a new team every single year. You know what I mean? So just to start off here, I'm on the player side. I really am, because something, I forget who said it, but it really resonated with me. They saying that, the last lockout, we had to basically take a year off, and basically the players ended up folding, all right, because they ended up taking their pay cuts or whatever. And for the duration of the CBA that just happened, the 7 years that just happened, all right, everything was fine. Nothing was the matter. But as soon as the new opportunity for the NHL and the owners comes to make new money, all of a sudden they start coming up with all these problems that the old CBA had, all right? It was fine 7 years ago when it got signed. It was fine during the 7 years when the NHL made strides that it had never made before, all right? But all of a sudden when a new contract has to be signed, oh, wait a minute, here's a problem, there's a problem. You guys are making too much money, all right? And that's the problem for me. The players have already taken a pay cut for you guys, all right? Now, there's also a lot of other things about the CBA, like minor league contracts, all right? It's not just the player, it's not just the, the player contracts, the salaries, all right? There's a lot of little things in there as well. So, again, I know I'm missing out on a lot, but to me, there's so many other ways that this could have been solved. Like, another thing that the NHLPA said, they said that what they could have done was started this year's NHL season under the old CBA rules while the negotiations were going on, right? So basically what they're saying is play the hockey season, all right? Don't interrupt the season. Don't hurt the fans. Don't hurt the players, all right? And we will have negotiations going on. We will negotiate a new CBA, all right? But let's keep playing hockey while we do it. The NHL and the owners say, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to lock you guys out. And why? You guys want to know why the NHL and the owners don't care about a lockout? It's because they understand the business model, all right? There's been lockouts that have happened before. The NHL understands that they can sustain a lockout, and come next year, the NHL will be fine, all right? I know there's all these people who are saying, oh, I'm never gonna watch another hockey game again. I'm never gonna buy anything from NHL.com again, all right? It's easy to say that, but come next year, all right, when hockey is back, you're gonna turn on your cable, and if you're a diehard hockey fan, you will watch the NHL again, all right? That's what I mean. They've done it before. They understand what happens. They know they can afford it, all right? So it's not a problem, all right? Now, the problem will happen when, say the first year the lockout happens, right? Say we go a year now and there's no hockey, all right? say we're coming up to year 2 of the lockout. That's when the real negotiations will really start up. You know why? Because that is the unknown. All right, the NHL hasn't gone into a lockout that has lasted more than a year. All right, so they don't know what would happen. They don't know how the fans would react. They don't know how the advertisers would react. All right, so that's the real back against the wall when the second year comes around. This is only the first year, boys. They've done this before. They'll do it again. A year is nothing for owners. A year is nothing for these old NHL owners, Gary Bettman, all these guys. It's nothing. All right, they don't play hockey. They don't rely on their body to make them money. All right, it's not a problem for them to wait a year. All right, a year is nothing to them. They know that the NHL will be able to sustain it. All right, so that's the reason. They know that they can not hijack. They know that they can basically, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess kidnap and hijack. They can kidnap and hijack the NHL because they know that the players will be the ones who fold first. All right, it's just the way it is. All right, guys who are already in their 30s. They get hurt by the lockout. They get drastically hurt by the lockout. You know why? Because every year there's thousands of young bucks coming into the NHL, and to stay in NHL shape, you need to be competing all the time, all right? If a 30-year-old sits out a year, he's really going to feel that. He's really going to feel that, all right? So that's what I mean. The players, they have a timeline to make money. The owners, they know that next year they'll still be in the same spot, still be making the money that they're making, all right? Nothing's going to change for them, but the players are the ones who take it on the chin. So when I heard that the NHLPA wanted to play the NHL season and do the negotiations while the season was going on, I thought to myself, hey, you know what? That's a pretty good compromise, all right? But when the owner said no to that, I'm just like, man, these guys are assholes, all right? And then I saw an interview with, who was it? Bobby Orr, all right? And Bobby Orr said something to me. It was so old school and so gritty. I loved it. You can just tell what the kind of guy he is. He was just like, I understand that there's billions of dollars at stake here, all right? There's a lot on the table, and it's not just as easy as, okay, let's just do this. But, what they should do is throw all these guys into one room, throw some water, throw some bread in there, and they're not allowed out until a negotiation is signed, all right? And I totally agree with that, all right? Who's the ones getting hurt by this? The fans, all right? Who's suffering the most? The fans, okay? You guys should be negotiating for the fans, okay? Because at the end of the day, we're the ones who pay your salaries. We're the ones who get the advertisers to pay you money, all right? If there was no fans, there'd be no NHL. Now, this is easy to say. Again, it goes back to what I said before. They know that if a lockout happens, they know that come next year, hockey will come flying back stronger than ever. All right, they know the business model for a lockout. It makes sense for them. All right, they've done it before. They know the pattern for it. But still, Bobby Orr, he's got a point, man. They should just get in a room, all right, and they're not allowed out of that room until the current negotiation is signed. I mean, I would love for that to happen. But, boys, we've already gotten this far. Guys like Ovechkin have gone. When I see Crosby go, that's when I'll know it's gone for a year, right? Crosby still hasn't gone yet. To me, Crosby would have a lot of influence over the NHL more than any other player. All right, I'm not saying that he would be telling these guys what to do or anything, but I think if the owners knew that the NHL lockout would last for a long time, he would be one of the first to know. Not one of the first to know, but you guys know what I mean, all right? Like, if Crosby goes, then the writing is on the wall, all right? Ovechkin already went, and to me, that's already part of the writing on the wall. But, yeah, if Crosby goes, man, forget about it. It's gone for the year. I'm still hoping that the NHL comes back in, say, November, December, has the shortened season, all right? But I don't think that's going to happen. And, it really sucks, the little things that I'm going to miss, and like Coach's Corner, freaking Don Cherry. How many years does this guy have left? You're taking another year away from Don Cherry for the fans who love to watch him, all right? I mean, I don't know how many more years I can watch this guy. I've watched him since I was a kid, and you're taking freaking Coach's Corner away from me. It's absolutely ridiculous, all right? I mean, one of the easiest ways that I stay in shape, I love to work out while watching a hockey game. I'm going to be a fat slob this year. You know why? Because there's no hockey. I'm not going to do any exercising. My goodness gracious. All right, so again, so many emotions, so many opinions about the NHL lockout. But again, boys, it's funny when I see, people saying, like this page on Facebook, fire Bettman, hashtag fire Bettman. Guys, grow up, all right? No Facebook message or no tweet is going to affect these negotiations, all right? These negotiations are going to dictate the delivery and the process of millions, billions of dollars over the next 7 to 10 years, however long they decide to sign the next CBA, all right? A little Facebook page or a little tweet that has, 10,000 likes is not going to mean anything, all right? So Stop thinking that, Facebook or Twitter is going to solve this. It's not. What you guys have to do, if you really want to make a stand against the NHL, you got to stop purchasing anything from NHL.com. You got to stop watching hockey games. But you know what? I'm a hypocrite when it comes to this as well, because I say that we should stop doing this if we really want to hurt them. But I know that if the second that hockey came back, I'd be watching it. I'd be turning on CBC, watching Hockey Night in Canada. All right, even if they locked out for 2 years, I wouldn't boycott the NHL because I know that other people wouldn't, and I would just be hurting myself in the end because I am a true hockey fan. I love the game of hockey. And it's sad that they know that they can take advantage of us because we're like poor sheep who will do anything just to watch their hockey. All right, they can do anything to us and we'll still come back. So again, you can't do anything. Facebook messages, Twitter messages, they're not going to do anything. All right. If you really want to hurt them, just stop buying things from them. But again, I think everyone's a hypocrite when it comes to that because, I'm going to buy another hockey jersey eventually. I'm going to watch again. So it sucks that where we are, boys, but expect a long year this year. I don't think the NHL is going to happen, all right? I've been optimistic up until this point, but again, with the departure of star players like Ovechkin to be one. There's a few others I just can't think of. I don't have a list on front of me. All right, there's been over 50 players now. They've done it before. Again, they'll do it again. They know what to expect. The lockout is happening this year, right? So it sucks. It really sucks. But it is what it is, boys. That's business, all right? The world runs in mysterious ways, man. Owners just looking for profits, NHL just looking for profits. The NHLPA again, I say I'm on their side, but they're looking for as much money as they can get as well, right? So it's everyone trying to make as much money as they can, and at the end of the day, it's the fans, us, who take it on the chin, and it really sucks. But that's it, all right? So there's my opinions on the lockout. I know it's kind of all over the place, but again, my opinions, all right? I know I'm missing out on a lot of facts in there. But that's it. It's very sad for us Canadians and for anyone who's hockey fans, but what are you going to do, all right? We're going to get this signed next year. Hockey will be back, and then in 10 more years, we'll have another lockout. Gary Bettman, like the third lockout or fourth lockout under his watch. My goodness gracious. All right, boys? So, go nuts with the comments about your opinions on the lockout. All right, and the next questions with Superbman. If you have any more questions, send me personal message, and I'll answer them for you. All right, boys? For Johnny Superbman and the great Domski, take it easy, and we'll see you next time.